Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to do a lot of comparison swatches, and I want to compare the two new Dior eyeshadow palettes from the Summer 2021 makeup collection to some other similar eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection, and a lot of you have been messaging me to do this comparison video, so I'm happy to do that for you guys. I have both eyeshadow palettes from Dior's Summer 2021 makeup collection, Mirage and Dune, and I have both of the highlighters. I already filmed a few videos dedicated to this makeup collection, so in case you want to see how the two eyeshadow palettes look on my face and also the highlighters, I'm going to have links to those videos in the description box. But in this video we're focusing only on swatches and comparison swatches. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Please consider subscribing if you love luxury beauty. I do my best to show you the latest luxury beauty releases, and I like to share with you my reviews. If you're returning, welcome back, dear friends. I really appreciate your time when you choose to watch my videos. It means so much to me. Please don't forget to leave me a comment at the end of this video. So I've already shown you swatches of the two new Dior eyeshadow palettes and the highlighters, but just for reference, I want to start by showing you swatches of the two eyeshadow palettes. So on top you can see Mirage, and on the bottom is Dune. So Dune is a little bit more shimmery, and in Mirage the colors are a little bit more subtle. They almost have like a satin finish. Both eyeshadow palettes blend beautifully on the eyes. So right now you can see swatches of Dior's Mirage eyeshadow palette. Here we have Dior Dune, and here we have Tom Ford Suspicion. And most of you have been asking me to compare the new Dior eyeshadow palettes to Suspicion by Tom Ford. The formulation of these eyeshadows is very different. As you can see here, the colors in the Dior eyeshadow palettes are a lot more sheer, and I swatched them 2 times because otherwise they're not going to be very visible, whereas the Tom Ford palette I only swatched once, and you can see that the colors are very vibrant. Moreover, the Tom Ford eyeshadow palette is the wet and dry formula, so you can use them wet and dry, but you can see that even when the eyeshadows are dry on Tom Ford, you can see how vibrant the colors look. They are very creamy to the touch, and they have almost like a full coverage on the eyelid. I absolutely love the formulation of the Tom Ford eyeshadows, and it's very, very different to the formulation of the Dior eyeshadow palettes. So you can see here what I was talking about. The Mirage eyeshadow palette, the colors are not as shimmery as the Dune eyeshadow palette, so they are very different. Now I'm going to switch off my softbox, and I'm going to let you see only natural light. That right now the weather is quite cloudy, so it's not like sunny, and you can see that we don't have a lot of light, but still you're going to be able to see how the colors look in completely natural light. And you can still see that in natural light we can still see that Dune is a lot more shimmery than Mirage. Mirage is right now, I think it looks almost like a matte, but it's not matte. The colors are not matte. They have the very elegant satin finish, and you can see that the Tom Ford colors are quite vibrant. Now I'm going to switch on the lights once again so that you can see the difference. A lot of you wanted to see comparison swatches of the new Dior eyeshadow palettes to this spring eyeshadow palette from Chanel. This was the one that was not released in the US. Actually, these are both the eyeshadow palettes from the new Dior spring makeup collection, and they were not released in the US for one reason or another. You know that what was the situation in 2020. So the factories in Italy that produce makeup, they were not able to produce as much makeup as they usually produce, and that's why I think that's the reason why in the US you couldn't get this eyeshadow palettes. However, a lot of you have been asking me to compare the new Dior palettes, and I'm going to start with Golden Meadow, and I swatched Golden Meadow right here. So you can see that there are some similarities, but the Dior eyeshadow palettes are definitely not dupes. And in the two Dior eyeshadow palettes, the colors have some sheen, whereas in Golden Meadow you have two completely matte colors. So these two are matte shades, and these two have some amount of shimmer. Now the shimmery shades here in Golden Meadow are definitely a lot more pigmented than the two Dior eyeshadow palettes. So they have stronger pigmentation, you can see. So this is the Chanel Golden Meadow. And once again, in case you forgot, this is Mirage, Dune, Tom Ford and Golden Meadow. And I'm going to switch off everything once again so that you can see everything in natural light. And I'm sorry that the weather today is so cloudy, but I had to film this. Still, you get the idea how the colors look in completely natural light. And if you want to see the swatches for longer, just pause the video where you want. Then I had a few requests also to compare the new eyeshadow palettes to this palette, and this is again from the Chanel Spring 2021 makeup collection, and this is in Bouquet Ambree. And in Bouquet Ambree we have one completely matte color, one is more shimmery, and these two are almost like satin finish. These two have the same finish as this eyeshadow palette, but the Chanel palette is a lot more pigmented than the Mirage eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna show you the swatches now. So these four colors are Bouquet Ambree. And then once again, this one is Mirage, Dune, Bouquet Ambree from Chanel, Suspicion by Tom Ford, and this is Golden Meadow by Chanel. And then I'm going to show you also swatches of these two eyeshadow palettes, and these are from Dior's Spring makeup collection, the TriOblique eyeshadow palettes. And this one is number 643 Pure Petals, and the other one is 663 Triple Bloom. So this one is the lighter one, and this one is the deeper. And you can see swatches right here. So this is Pure Petals, and this one is Triple Bloom. And you can see that they are not similar to the Dior Mirage and Dune eyeshadow palettes. They are not really similar. And now I'm moving on to the highlighters, and I'm going to be swatching all of these highlighters. So this is from Chanel's Spring makeup collection. You have it in the US, guys. So these two highlighters are from the new Dior Summer 2021 makeup collection. This one is from last year's Summer makeup collection by Dior, and this is in Coral Vibes, and it's quite similar to this year's Coral Dune. And also I think that this one is going to be similar. This is going to have similar shades. So this is from last year's Guerlain highlighter limited edition. So first I'm going to show you swatches of these two, and these are the new highlighters. This one is Pink Dune and this one is Coral Dune. Then I'm going to swatch last year's Coral Vibes from Dior's Summer makeup collection. And you can see that this year's highlighter and last year's highlighter are quite similar. So if you already have last year's highlighter in Coral Vibes, I don't think that you need this year's highlighter. You can see that here we have a little bit more pinkish color, and here it's a little bit more orangey, a little bit more coral, but still they are very, very similar. And now I want to swatch also this highlighter, which is from this year's Chanel makeup collection, and I'm going to swatch also the blush. And then I'm going to swatch also the Guerlain. So I'm going to swatch the coral one here. So the Guerlain highlighter definitely has more refined shimmer. And I'm going to swatch the pink Guerlain highlighter right here. And I'm going to switch off the lights now, so that you can see also in a natural light how everything looks. So I want to quickly share my thoughts on the highlighters. So these two are absolutely gorgeous, and it depends on your skin tone, but this one for me is a blush. I don't use it as a highlighter, I use it as a blush, and this one works as the perfect highlighter for me personally. If you already have the highlighter from the last year's summer makeup collection by Dior, you don't really need this one. You can see even in the pans here that they look quite similar. Then moving on to Chanel's spring highlighter, you can see right here that it's a beautiful highlighter. Absolutely love this compact from Chanel. I think it's very beautiful. The blush is really lovely and the highlighter is gorgeous. And this is one of my all-time favorite highlighters. I'm really sorry that this was a limited edition palette, but I absolutely love it. So I wanted to show you quickly also how the eyeshadow palette Terra compares to the new Dior eyeshadow palettes from this year. Unfortunately, I don't have Sienna and I only had Terra back in 2019, so this is how it looks. It's quite different. So Terra was nothing like the new Dior eyeshadow palettes. As you can see, I suppose that these two new eyeshadow palettes would look more similar to Sienna, but unfortunately, I don't have this one. So that was all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video with a friend if you find it useful. I would really appreciate your support, and also make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and turn the notification bell on so that you don't miss future videos. Follow me on Instagram because I post a lot of beauty news there, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.